at the present time, if you were eligible for an interest rate of 2.99% 12 months ago, which was probably, not the sharpest rate that you could get. You could probably do a little bit better, but I just know this is a real example. You may have been assessed against your ability to service a loan at 5.99%. So adding that 3% to the 2.99. Let's say the bank would lend you $750,000 at 2.99% back then, based on your income and other financial circumstances and everything that goes into assessing your borrowing capacity. Again, this is based on a real example of a first home buyer. Today, with the applicable variable rate from that lender now being 5.14%, the same lender would assess you at 8.14%. And this really decreases how much they'll lend you. Now, I've got a friend who had pre-approval in February for $750,000 plus a deposit of $186 plus purchasing costs. So that was how he calculated how he could put a purchase together. So all up, he was looking at a purchase price of $930,000, plus he had on top of that his purchase costs. Looking at what he can borrow now, that's actually come down. He went back to the bank last week because he thought he'd found a property for around $900 that suited and was a good opportunity for him, good quality property in the area that he's interested in. He can now only borrow $600,000. So if you add his deposit of $186,000, it means his new purchase price has come down to $786,000. That it's such a different property in a different location. So that's a big drop, isn't it, in terms of your purchase price, Veronica?
It's a huge drop. I'm looking at that thinking, no wonder first home buyers are just saying that's it, I'm not going to buy, because it's also because
one thing after another, really, isn't it?
Well, that's it. It's hard enough, let's face it. And then you set your heart and you think, great, I'm going to buy my forever home, perhaps. I don't know, what, $900,000, $930,000, buy something fairly decent in Brizzy, doesn't it?
Not really.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
So
suburbs that we used to purchase for maybe $650,000, $700,000, they're up over the $900s now for a similar property.
Way to go. And that's an important point too, because people are assuming that prices are just going to fall to the equivalent of what your borrowing capacity has fallen. And it's like, well, I can't borrow that much money now and neither can anyone else. So surely I should be able to, afford to pay that price. And the problem is that if the market really did fall like that, and any owner that doesn't have to sell just won't sell their property.
Yeah.
They'll just park it and wait.
Actually puts a lot of pressure on supply.
It does. And then that then puts pressure on prices. And the people that can access the money, they will buy the properties. There'll be less of them, but there's less properties to buy. And so this is the sort of reason why high interest rates doesn't completely translate into lower prices in quite the same way you might think if you watch and read all the headlines.